Sure. So, my name is Jacob Kivenhoven. I am founder of Perception Paranormal, and I grew up in a haunted house.
Whoa. Why did you choose to start Perception Paranormal?
As I just mentioned, I grew up in a haunted house, so I had a lot of questions from my upbringing. What's going on? Some people believe in this stuff, some people don't. I wanted to create an environment, a place where I could research and discover this.
So, when investigating or researching, how do you approach the paranormal?
So I generally approach it from a very logical mindset. So I first look at something and I try to assess whether there is a rational explanation that is quite obvious, such as gravity, environment, animals, things like that. If I can't come up with a very reasonable explanation there, then I'll delve a little bit deeper into more of a scientific type of discovery and see if there's answers there. Now, that's usually more this could possibly be the answer, just because I'm not a scientist. I don't know how electromagnetism works and the fine details of chemistry. When two compounds are combined, what happens? I don't know.
Does anybody?
So, yes. Just not me. Then I go there and come up with possible explanations. And if I can't come up with anything there, then I look at the paranormal. Is this something fantastical?
You said you grew up in a haunted house. What kinds of things did you experience?
Okay, so yeah, a lot of auditory events, hearing footsteps and sounds. There were a couple kind of corner of the eye shadows moving around. I did see a full-blown apparition once. Yes. Yeah, sleep paralysis is another thing that happened. Lots of different events.
I actually didn't know sleep paralysis was linked to the paranormal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of explanations as to sleep paralysis being paranormal or just being a very common normal phenomenon.
Okay. Do you experience these types of events regularly?
I do not. That's actually a great question. As I mentioned, grew up in a haunted house. I only experienced events inside that house. And I actually moved away when I was about 20 years old and lived away for a couple of years. No paranormal events whatsoever. I moved back home for a short while, had another paranormal event, and then moved away and have never had a paranormal event since then.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what would you say is your most compelling experience with the paranormal?
Sure. So it's actually a bit of a longer story, but I'll break it down real quick. My sisters and I were home alone. Our parents had gone out for the evening, and all of a sudden we heard my Nintendo Entertainment System turn on, and Mario started playing. We heard Mario running around, killing enemies, collecting coins, breaking bricks, all this stuff, right? And we're like, who the heck is in our house playing my gaming system? So we crept down the hallway slowly and quietly, and as we got closer to the door, we could hear it getting louder and louder until we were right outside the door, and we could hear it clear as day. And then I swung the door open abruptly, and as soon as the door opened, it was dead silence, not a sound. The TV was turned off, the gaming system was turned off, and the gaming system was even unplugged from the wall.
What?
And there was no one in the room.
Whoa. Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
So you said you approach investigations with a logical mindset. How would you explain this experience?
That's a great question. And I've had a lot of time to think about it, and I can't really come up with a great explanation. Um, from a logical standpoint, I thought, maybe this was a practical joke that someone was playing on us as kids. But in the last 20 years, no one's come forth to say, hey, I got you. Joke's on you. And so then I thought, okay, well, maybe there was some sort of recording device and someone recorded the sounds of Mario and placed a little speaker inside the room and was playing it and then turned it off right when we walked in. But you have to remember, you wouldn't remember, I have to remember, that this is in the early 1990s. And I don't know that they had remote control devices like that are controlled from meters away. And that person, if they were outside the house, would also have to know where we were inside the house and time it perfectly when we opened the door, and no one came forth to say anything. So I have no explanation for this.
Right. So what's your goal for Perception Paranormal?
I would like to create a close-knit community where we can speak openly, discuss some of the events that we've encountered, discuss stories and experiences that people have had and shared on the internet. I want it very open discussion, and I want it to also be a place of kind of self-discovery where we can talk about the mental health side of this as well. A lot of non-believers approach the paranormal as it's all in your head, you're just seeing things, you're hallucinating, so on and so forth. And while I believe in the paranormal, I can understand that perspective as well. And so I want to delve into that and look at, well, do they have any kind of truth to what they're saying there?
Thanks, Jacob.
You're welcome.